Dangal greetings everyone. Dangal greetings 12 TVL2. So for today class, we will have your second part of our discussion about the Greek views of matter, motion, and the universe. So last time, we already started our discussion, but of course, for the benefit of everyone who are those in immersion, so let's have a quick recap or a short recap. Recap na lang natin yung buong lesson para mas maintindihan natin. So I hope you watch this video in your free time so that it will be helpful for you to answer the exam and also for the incoming quiz for the benefit for your incoming exam po. So, kasi may quiz tayo, after watching this, you can answer the quiz and that quiz is really helpful for you to answer the incoming exam. Again, the Inter PowerPoint is the coverage of our exam. So, make sure that you will find a time to watch this video. So, okay. So, our topic here is all about the Greek views of matter, motion, and the universe. So, again, class, Greek. Ibig sabihin, we are focusing to the notable persons that is originally from Greece that contributes to the three areas. To the matter, the discovery of matter that we have. Obviously, we're talking about atom, kung atom na ba talaga yung tawag that time. So, we're talking about motion. So, motion, we are dealing with movement. So what we're talking is the movement of Earth or anything or whatsoever. And also the universe. So how Greek view as a universe. So again class, bakit Greek ang ina-highlight lagi sa history in all areas? It is just because it is stated in our history that the civilization is started from Mesopotamia. So that is very close to the Greece. So because of that, Greek people is really popular in our history. Okay. So let's start with the lifeline of the selected ancient Greek scientists and philosopher. This is the guidelines para mas ma-visualize nyo po how old is the each persons from together. Kasi nga, nagiging factor din yan how they view things because they belongs to different time. So because of that, they have a lot of considerations na dapat tandaan. Maybe they belong to old time. So obviously, they have a lack of tools that use to observe any object. So basically, dapat kailangan din natin sila intindihan kasi nga, they came from a different years. So it includes from Thales, Anaximander, Pythagoras, ayan. Kung makikita natin BC or before Christ era. So let's start class kay Thales. Thales of Miletus. Miletus is one of the city in Greece. So Thales, as you can see, the picture is too old already. But the main idea of Thales is yung nakabold lang po. He is known also as the father Greek science and mathematics, or he's also known as the father of natural science. Normally kasi sa class, during that time, during that time or sa time nila na hindi pa talaga uso yung technology or super advanced yung technology, they behave or they rely on their idea based on their observation. So normally kasi tayo sa science, we are based on observation step by step. After that, we will analyze that based on the evidence that we gather. But because of that, kaya nga siya tinawag na naturalist person, just sinasabi sa ibang reference, the father of natural science. It is just because he conclude his idea is based on his natural observation, by means of his observation lang. So based on him, the first person to natural explanation of natural phenomenon rather than turning into a supernatural world. He believed that everything comes from water and earth that aids floats on the water. So tatandaan lang natin, pag narinig natin si Thales again, is we will say that he said that everything comes from a water. Anything that we have right now is originally came from a water. So just like this. In this illustration class, this is the earth based on him that the land is floated on a water. And basically, everything is surrounded by a water. So, all we have to do, lahat ng bagay, kahit yung room, lupa itself, is made up of water. Everything is water. That is based on Thales. Okay, so this is his idea. General, it covers a whole range of similar cases, not just a single one. Based on observation, all the transcends and observation makes no appeal to supernatural cause. So, as you can see this class, dito sa picture, pinakita lang yung comparison between the idea of Thales and Anaximander. So, which is si Anaximander, yung next natin i-discuss. Pero yung tatandaan nyo lang ulit class, that pag narinig nyo agad, everything comes from a water that we have that is based on Thales. So, of course, we have the critique of Aristotle. So, basically, si Aristotle kasi class, kahit saang branch man siya mapalagay, andyan lagi si Aristotle. Kasi, along with the Plato, ayan, sila yung lagi, yung sikat na sikat. So, si Aristotle, he has his own feedback in every contributor. So, based on him, class, that views on Thales, the earth rests is on water. So, basically, yung source natin is the idea of also Aristotle. Water is an arc of things. So again, land is floated in the water and the magnet has a soul. And all things is full of gods. So that time, hinighlight niya yung mga gods pa. Aristotle lines metaphysics indicates the understanding that Thales believes that because water was permanent entity and earth floats on water. Thales may have reason that's modification of water, earth, lighter substance, and floating and do exist. So again class, based on Thales, made up of water nga yung lahat ng bagay. It's just because water is less yung bigat niya. So mas lighter. So that's the reason why nagfo-float lahat. So yun lang yung pinaka-idea ni Thales. Next to it is Anaximander. Kung nakikita nyo kanina class, sa comparison, kinumpara natin si Thales tsaka si Anaximander. Why? Based on Anaximander kasi class, that the idea of Thales is hindi aligned sa idea niya. Kung baga kakaiba. Kung kay Thales, that the earth is floats in the ocean, while for Anaximander, kung nakikita niyo po sa illustration, earth floats in infinite. Kung baga, wala siyang sinabi from unknown object. Wala siyang sinabi kung anong object, saan nakalutang si Earth. So, dinagdag niya lang dito is that you find the idea of Thales. Yun nga, sabi ko nga, iba yung idea niya. Instead of water, the idea that proposed that a cylindrical Earth is rest at the center of the universe. So, may sinabi na agad siya na that the Earth is the center of the universe surrounded by air. So, ang sinabi niya lang surrounded by air. So, ibig sabihin, instead of water, yung nagso-surround or nagfo-float, air itself mismo. That's why, sabi niya nga, siya yung center. And instead of water, air. Yung tawag dito, reason why the land floats. And by one of the spherical shells with a holes in them. So, based on Anaximander also, ayan, kung nakikita nyo sa Earth that time, and this is the air surrounded. So, kung nakikita nyo walang water sa model na to, this is the fixed star and the region of fire. So, that time kasi, yun nga, sabi ko, due to the lack of advancement of technology pa, so what they have is, they write things that obviously not fully explored. So, that's why we have this terms regions of fire. So, they don't know what are really that area sa time nila. So, based on Anaximander's universe, the sun, the moon, and the star are holes through which can a glimpse of fires within three enclosed closed rings surrounded by earth. Each ring's fire is same width as earth. The sun rings begins at 27 earth width away from the earth. The cylindrical earth is the center of the universe. So again nga po, Anaximander believes that the earth is the center of the universe and the other objects such as the stars, the moon, and the sun revolves around the earth. So yun po. Anaximander did not believe that the universe had always existed. He said that it has grown from a said primordial substance called apeiron. So, instead of the water, apeiron, yung sinabi ni Anaximander. Class, ayan. Apeiron. So, yan yung pinakatawag na term niya. The apeiron was infinite, could not be created or destroyed. So, pag nasabi niya created nor destroyed, ibig sabihin unbreakable na siya. Everything we can sense in the universe has grown from it. So, he said that everything's come from the apeiron. Interesting facts. Anaximander was Thales' first student. So, basically, teacher niya din si Thales. But, of course, he views different from his teacher. Perhaps the very first Pythagoras was one of his later students. So, ibig sabihin, most of these Greek persons, notable persons, is connected together. Kaya naging teacher din nila or naging students. Kagaya ng kina Plato, kina Aristotle. So, naging teacher din ni Aristotle si Plato. So, almost similar to this. Naging teacher ni Thales, naging teacher ni Anaximander si Thales. And Pythagoras was one of his later students. So, naging teacher din ni ni Pythagoras si Thales was one of his later. Pythagoras was all taught by Anaximander. So, kumbaga, teacher, Anaximander, Thales, Anaximander, then Pythagoras, teacher, in short. So, next we have Anaximenes. So, Anaximenes idea class sometimes is nakakalito kay Anaximander. But Anaximenes' idea is almost similar to Thales. But instead of water, he believes that everything comes from the air. Comes from air itself. Kung si Anaximander comes from apeiron or the strange object that cannot be created nor destroyed, based on Anaximenes naman, Anaximenes thought the air was primary substance that held the universe together. So, the universe is the everything. Anaximenes also used air to explain the nature of Earth and the surrounding celestial bodies. In the beginning of the world, air condensed create a flat surface of Earth, which said shaped like a table of a trapezoid. The sun floated in air as like a broad leaf. So, yun nga po, ang sabi ko sa inyo, almost similar lang yung idea nila. Thales, water, Anaximander, apeiron, which is the earth is surrounded by air, but originally created from apeiron, a strange object, cannot be created nor destroyed, but Anaximenes is originally surrounded by air and created from the air. So, yun lang yung idea nila na pinagkaiba. Dagdagan pa natin. So, based on Anaximenes class, the moon also floated in the air. So, almost kagaya ng Earth na nagfo-float, moon is present that time, nagfo-float din sa air. Suggests that the stars were fixed on the solid transparent crystalline sphere that rotated above the Earth. He believed that the sky was a dome, that doom after a frontier of Earth, day and night, is caused by celestial bodies being carried north until they are seen. This evidence suggests that Anaximenes has first person to distinguish between the planets and the fixed stars. So, take note dyan class ha. First person to distinguish between the planets and the fixed stars. So, ayan. May idea na agad si Anaximenes what really matters between pinagkaiba ng planets and the stars. Ayan. So, yun lang po. Next, we have Anaxagoras. Anaxagoras is one of the biggest philosophical ideas stated that everything is in everything. Ayan yung keyword, class yung nakabold. Everything is everything. By his, he meant that there's infinite initial element, that fundamental components of matter. Every object is the world consists of small portion of everything can be separated a smaller piece. So, basically, class, he don't mention a specific thing, but sinabi niyang everything. Kumbaga, very mukhang logical yung explanation niya that everything that we have is already came from an everything. So, very vague. Kumbaga, ikaw na lang magpapaisip. So, wala siyang sinabi na specific, just everything. that is based on Anaxagoras. But Anaxagoras class is more unpopular is that believe that idea the earth is flat earth pa. So sikat na sikat siya dyan. Evidence of his was the rising setting of the sun. So doon nag-base si Anaxagoras bakit niya nasabi na flat yung earth because of the sunrise and yung change of pagsikat ng araw tsaka paglubog ng araw. So, which is, that time naman is very logical na. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo before, wala pang enough na technology. Siyempre, kung nabuhay ka naman sa time nila ni Anaxagoras, we cannot just blame him na, yes, may idea siya. So, basically, tama, yung time sa time na yan. May reason, may dahilan. Yung idea niya, bakit nasabi niya yung the earth is flat. Which cut off the horizon of straight line, Anaxagoras argued that cut off the shape created by horizon with curve and the earth is sphere. O, ayan. So, ganun yung itsura niya. So, sabi niya, because of the sunrise, so, kaya nasabi niya na flat yung earth. Ayan. Smart view. For someone who lived in the era without a satellite photos, this would be seems a logical conclusion. So, kaya nga ito nasabi ko sa inyo before, walang satellite, walang photos or satellites, ano pa ba? Satellites, photos, mga telescopes, hindi pa uso that time. So, because of that, they are rely only based on their knowledge and observations. That is already logical that time. So, we cannot blame them again. So, next, we have the time of Empedocles. So, again, last time class, we already topped him. So, ang sinasabi ng laman ni Empedocles is that the earth came from the 4 fundamental elements. So, his idea is almost similar to the concept of matter. So, sabi niya, so matter is made up of 4. The fire, the air, water, and earth. So, yun lang, yung idea niya. Next, we have Democritus. Again, last time, we also discussed Democritus. So, Democritus' idea is about atomic theory. So, again, atomic theory, kasi nga, it is connected to matter. Kasi nga, si matter made up of an atom. That's why, kasama pa rin siya dito si Democritus. Sabi ni Democritus that an atom is made up of, wala pa siyang sinabi, divisible small atoms or divisible small atoms or indestructible. So, yun lang. Hindi siya basta-basta nahihiwa na si atom. Kung baga, sinasabi niya that si atom is unseparable na. So, Democritus yun. A theory held by everything is composed of atom, which is physically but not geometrically indivisible. The between atoms, there are lines empty space that atoms indestructible and have always been be an emotion. There is an infinite number of atoms and kinds of atoms. So, he stated that an atom is basically meron siyang types and also sizes. But as a general, he said that there is cannot be separated or cannot be, hindi na siya pwedeng mahiwa pa. So, yun lang, sasabi ni Democritus. And the most notable idea of Democritus' class is his idea about, in astronomy, specifically in discovery of the Milky Way. He was the first person to claim that the people refer to as a Milky Way. So, di ba? Sa time natin na to, so siya yung pinaka may idea bakit tinawag ng Milky Way, yung galaxy natin. The light of the stars natural occurring, not the result of the action of God, although at the same time does not seem deny the existence of spirit and the soul. So basically, hindi pa buo, hindi pa ganun ka-strong yung idea niya about the galaxy. So basically, ang sinabi niya lang is that it is a light of years, was the light created by the stars. So, kaya yung idea na yun is nag-come up, pero hindi niya pa directly na sinasabi, pinangalanan si Milky Way. But he has an idea already. Si Democritus. Okay po? So, next, we have Pythagoras. Si Pythagoras class is, you can also see him, or you can read him. Makikita niyo siya sa libro sa math. O kahit sa sa mathematics. Di ba madami siya mga formulas? Also in science, kasi nga sabi ko sa inyo, mathematics is one of the broader sub-branches of science. Ganun kalawak si science. Kung baga, cover niya pa lahat ng mga bodies of knowledge, including math. That's why, kahit saan makikita si Pythagoras. So, Pythagoras is a Greek mathematician and a philosopher declared that the earth shaped to be sphere. Ayan, sphere. O, magkaiba po si sphere kay circle, ha? Si circle, again, is a 2D model. Kung baga, circle lang siya, tapos walang likod. Pag sphere, bilog siya na 3D yung model. Kung baga, pwede siyang paikot-ikutin, in short. So, kagaya nito. Saan ba dito? Ayan, yung nag-a-appear sa screen natin, ito na nga lang. Ayan. Itong shape na to, basically is a 2D model. Yung sa gilid. Just like the circle. Kung circle lang na pure, 2D lang yan. That we cannot call it as a sphere. Sphere is basically, again, 3D model, ha? So, he arrived at determination, not a specific observation, but he believed that sphere to be perfect geometric shape and God could only create a perfect and world. So, basically, class, he also believes in God, but he adopted the idea of math this time. So, ayan, yung nakikita nyo, yung pinagkaitan, sinabi ko kanina, this one is a circle, this one is a sphere. Kung pinaikot natin to, may likod siya. So, basically ito, yung gilid, in short. Kung ganito, titignan natin sa perspective na to, pag gilid siya, hindi siya circle. Pero kung sphere, kahit gaano naman natin siya kabaliktarin, may shape talaga na makikita. So, kagaya nun. Kagaya na ng square. Si square, pag nag-3D, ang tawag sa kanya is cube. Cube. Then, pag nag-4D, ayan, medyo advanced na, or 4D, we called it as a tesseract. So, medyo advanced na. So, pero yung focus na natin dito is yung difference na ng shape. The ancient Greek liked the geometric shape and the mathematical harmony of a nature. Here, reference probably is speculation about the shape of the earth. So, his idea again is the earth is sphere. Ayan ha, Pythagoras. So, dagdag natin. Using a circle diameter as the axis of rotating at a circle of 360 degrees creates a perfect sphere. So, ito yung description niya. Bakit nasabi niya na sphere? So, in short, ito yung kinompare natin as circle, diameter. So, again, diameter yung tawag sa line coming from the radius to gitna. Ito yung radius. Ito yung diameter ay yung isang line kalahati. Ito naman yung circumference. Ayan. So, ito yung reference. Diameter of axis rotating the circle of 360s. So, ibig sabihin, 360 na ikot, we called it as a sphere. One of the first to use mathematics to challenge questions support his observation of the stars. So, very advanced na si Pythagoras kasi nga, he used mathematics already in computing the idea about the earth. So, very, na siya, advanced. So, ito yung idea niya. So, earth, based yung idea pa rin, so earth pa rin yung center. He agrees with other, but sa kanya, is, klinaro niya lang yung shape ng earth, which is a sphere. So, next class, we have Plato. So, again, sabi ko nga sa inyo, naging teacher ni Aristotle, si Plato. His contribution to ancient astronomy was the idea that the star, the sun, and moon were fixed to concentric crystalline spheres. So, di ba, connected yung mga idea nila. So, rotating inside another. Plato composed that the star formed outermost crystal sphere, followed by the planets, the sun, the moon, the spherical earth at the center. So, this is the concentric sphere. Pag sinabi po natin concentric sphere, di ba kanina sphere is basically a 3D form of circle. Pag sinabi po natin concentric, this one is describe niya sa earth na yung pinaka-center sa lahat. Kung baga, lahat ng mga bodies is umiikot sa kanya. Yun yung sinasabi natin concentric. Siya yung center ng lahat. Kaya tinatawag natin concentric. Kung baga si Sun, umiikot sa kanya, si Moon, umiikot sa kanya, yung mga stars, umiikot sa kanya, or that, so on and so forth, and other bodies. As long as si Earth yung center, or any isang object yung center, tinatawag natin siyang concentric. And this time, dinagdagan natin ng sphere. Kung baga, they revolve and encircle the Earth by in the form of a sphere shape. Ayan. The plate of the universe was perfect and unchanging. O, ayan, highlights yan ha. The star were eternal and divine, embedded in the outer sphere. Our heavenly bodies were in circular sphere, and sphere was a perfect shape. So, ayun, based sa kanya. Next, we have Hipparchus. A Greek mathematician and astronomer, he measured the Earth, Moon distance and accurately. Along with Pythagoras' class, Hipparchus is also a mathematician. But sa kanya, instead of measuring the shape of the Earth class, kay Hipparchus naman, yung measure niya naman is the Earth-Moon distance accurately. Yung distance ni Earth, tsaka ni Moon. Kung kanina, si Pythagoras, yung shape ni Earth, ngayon, ang measure naman ni Hipparchus is the distance of Earth and the Moon accurately. So, matibag kaya with the help of math talaga, kaya natin gawin. Founded the mathematical discipline of trigonometry. So, pag, di ba sa math niyo, trigonometry is basically, mahalaga dyan yung mga angles, di ba? Yung mga angles, yan, tsaka yung mga sides in measuring. So, because of that importance of sides and angles, we can say that the measurements is accurate. Yes, importante siya. And his combination worked with the unquarrel until 1870s. So, Hipparchus measures Earth to Earth and Moon distance. Okay? So, noted, the position of stars were shifted in the symmetrical, which indicates there were not one moving but the Earth. So, again, this time, yun nga, since with the use of mathematics class, he said na gumagalaw yung ng stars systematically. Kasi nga, may sinusukat yung mga shapes. So, almost used to this. Ayan. Next is his ideas about the concept of precession. So, precession of the equinoxes in a slow rotation of the whole pattern of stars around the ecliptic axis and revolution takes 26,000 years. This motion was discussed by Hipparchus. So, medyo madaming term na dapat yung tandaan dito kasi medyo advanced na. So, we have the term precession. Pag sinabi po natin class na precession, this one is the slow movement of the Earth. Slow movement of the Earth from its rotation. So, kung baga, precision, yung ikot, rotation mismo ng Earth from na mabagal. And, equinox, pag sinabi naman natin equinox, is that equal yung day and night. Or, kung baga, yung portion Earth na the Earth is equal yung distribution ng sunlight. So, ibig sabihin that the movement of the Earth or the slow movement of the Earth, which tinatawag natin a precession, affects the equinox itself or pagiging hati, equal yung division ng init, ng araw, tsaka ng gabi. So, this idea is also credited to Hipparchus. So, ang pinakahuli sa lahat, obviously, is the student of Plato, and the most popular, obviously, na Greek kahit sa anumang libro is Aristotle. Believed that Earth was round. Instead, yung iba kanina, sphere, so which is almost connected naman, he believed that Earth is round. He thought that Earth was a center of the universe. So, geocentric pa rin yung idea niya ni Aristotle. That the sun, the moon, and all fixed stars around in it. And Aristotle's idea were widely accepted by Greeks of his time. Yan nga, siya yung pinaka-influential na Greek so far that time. Kaya madami siyang credit. And heavenly bodies are not compound of the four terrestrial elements but made up of superior fifth element, quintessence, or ether. So, ano naman to class? Diba, si Empedocles, sabi niya that the earth is made up of the four elements. Pero si Aristotle, naging logical na naman siya. Sabi niya, bakit kaya kakaiba yung components na bumubuo sa mga stars? So, hindi din tumugma sa apat na elements na pinopose mismo ni Empedocles. So, that's why he adopt the idea or the components of the fifth elements na tinatawag natin quintessence or ether. Ayan na, ether. So, kung baga kung pinanood yung mayang Encantadia, yun yung kay Pau Pau. Oo, yun yung parang idea niya. Yung fifth na diamond, na brillante in short. The earth, water, fire, and the ether or the quintessence. Okay po? So, in addition, the heavenly bodies have a soul of supernatural intellect which guides them in the travel through the cosmos. So, basically, kasi yung mga heavenly bodies is their guide how to explore more bodies. So, kung nakikita niyo dito sa model ni Aristotle, that the earth is the center, sa bawat isa dito, ng mga heavenly bodies, or itong mga bodies na na-observe nila, is yung naging guide nila to observe more and more. So, ganun po. So, we are done with it, class. So, para mabilis nating tandaan, ibibigay ko yung pinaka-highlight lang. So, ulit po, first we have Thales. We have Thales. The idea of Thales is everything is made up of water. O, yan yung pinaka-idea niya lang talaga. Next, we have Anaximander. Anaximander believes that Earth came from a primordial substance that can be broken called a pyrrhon. O, ayan, yung idea niya. Then, for Anaximenes, as compared with Thales, Anaximenes believed that everything came from air. O, ayan, yung pinaka-idea niya lang. For Anaxagoras class, ang pinaka-idea, ang pinakasikat sa kanya, obviously, is the discovery of the flat earth. Ayan, flat earth. For Empedocles, yung pinaka-idea lang, fire, earth, and water, air, or the four elements. Next, we have Democritus, the idea of indivisible atom. Yung pinaka-idea, yung tandaan nyo lang. Next, Pythagoras, shape of the earth is sphere, or sphere earth. Yan lang, sulat nyo, Pythagoras. Then, we have also Plato. So, the idea of Plato class, ang dapat nyo lang tandaan sa kanya is concentric sphere. Ayan, concentric sphere. So, next we have Hipparchus. Tatandaan ka, Hipparchus measures distance of Earth to Moon. Ayan, yung mga keyword lang. Then, we have Aristotle. So, Aristotle believes and adds, dalawa yung kay Aristotle, the addition of ether or the quintessence and geocentric model of the universe. So, ayan po. So, yun lang yung mga ideas na dapat nyong tandaan sa mga Greek philosophers. So, now, class, let's proceed to the other parts of our discussion about the motion of the Earth. So, this time, class, we will tap a more advanced discussion or more advanced na, hindi na siya sa time na kung saan lack of discovery. So, yung mga terms dito is later na dadagdag because of the discovery of technologies such as the telescope and satellites and even mga probes na po. So, motion of Earth. Actually, class, pag sinabi natin motion, movement of Earth, our planet Earth moves in many ways. Hindi lang yung typical na dalawang movement na alam natin before, the revolution and rotation, hindi lang yan yung galaw ng Earth natin. But, our planet moves in various ways, in many ways. That's why I listed here the few of the most notable na movement ng Earth natin. So, bakit kailangan nating aralin how our planet moves? So, obviously, since we are living inside the planet Earth, so, kailangan nating aralin kasi nga, that changes or the movement could affect or could probably affect us in a way na we live here. So, probably kung gumalaw si ganito sa Earth in this way, probably it could change things that affects our lives. So, ganun siya ka-importante. That's why kailangan natin siyang aralin. Okay po? So, we have the term revolution. revolution. So, alam nyo na po to ha. Kaklaruhin ko, revolution. The movement of Earth around the Sun in the full orbit. The Earth revolves around the Sun for 365 and 1/4 days. The average distance between the Earth and the Sun is about 150 million kilometer at the average speed of 107 kilometer per hour. So again class, yun sa discussion natin sa mga Greek views and matter, yung pinaka-acceptable lang ng mga theorists that time is kay Copernicus. The idea of heliocentric. Ulit po. Si kay kina Kepler or lahat ng idea is the sun-centered. So, yun yung pinaka-general na idea. That's why here, we consider the sun as the center of the solar system, ha? Solar system lang muna. Kasi nga, yung iba, late na na-discover yung mga beyond our solar system, the galaxies, and so on and so forth. So, kaya mag-focus na tayo dito. Revolution. The movement of Earth around the sun. So, again, class, sun is a star, a full orbit. So, basically, tayo, class, as a one planet, along with with a total of 8 planets na nagre-revolve sa sun, is may kanya-kanya tayong speed. So, pero yung focus lang muna natin is kay Earth. So, sa Earth class, sabi dito, revolution yung tawag kung saan tayo sa planet Earth, we encircle, rotating, or kumbaga, pinapaikutan natin sa Earth, si Sun itself. So, we called it as a revolution. So, it happens that we have a 365 and 1/4 days. So, yan yung isang taon mismo na nagagawa ng revolution natin. So, kaya nga, nababalitaan yun every month of February, may tinatawag tayong leap year. So, kung may leap year class, hindi 365.25 or 1/4 ang isang araw. Instead, we have 362 days. So, kasi nga, nadagdagan tayo ng isang araw. So, leap year often class occur in every 4 years, but not consistently. Pero, ang alam natin, every 4 years, si leap year. So, kaya nadadagdagan si 165.14 days. Yan yung fixed kadalasan talaga na revolution ng Earth natin. Next, the average distance between the Earth and the Sun is about 150 million kilometer at average speed of 107 kilometer per hour. So, basically, class, due to advancement of our technology na, we know the measurement of the distance of our planet, Earth, and to the Sun. So, this is the measurement, 150 million kilometer. So, the unit we often use is, in measuring this in science class, is AU, or astronomical unit. AU, astronomical unit. So, we are referring to yung unit na ginagamit na measure the distance of Earth to the Sun. So, again, ang tinutukoy natin na distance, it could be by means of the basis how fast the light travel from its surface into our planet. So, kung tatandaan nyo by means of minutes class, 8 minutes. 8 minutes nagpa-pass through, nagta-travel yung light from the sun into our surface. Again po, 8 minutes. So, tatandaan yan ha, dadagdagan yan. Next, we have the term perihelion and aphelion. So, na-mention na natin siya prior to the idea of Kepler's law of planetary motion. Tama po? Pero, yun nga, by definition, aphelion is the point which orbiting body is farthest from the sun. And peri, yung pinaka-keyword lang, is closest to the sun. Kung nakikita nyo man class, million kilometer, kung pag-distance dito, yung pinakamalapit, 147 million kilometer, yung tinatawag nating perihelion, that is near around January, and tinatawag ng aphelion, yung pinaka-closest naman, around 1.52 million kilometer. So, medyo madalayo nga siya, kaya tinatawag natin siyang aphelion. Pero, based on the idea of Kepler naman class, even there we do have this perihelion and aphelion na term, the area that consumes by peri and aphelion is the same. That is the based on the second law of Kepler, na kung baga, even though na malapit, ayan, na malapit si planet Earth sa Sun, yung ikot niya is lalong bumibilis. Then, pag lumalayo or uphill yun yung tawag, lalong bumabagal. So, because of that, kahit nga ganon, yung speed nila by total, the same lang po. Equal yung area na nako-consume ni perihelion and aphelion as a total. So, that is based on Kepler's law of planetary motion number 2. Next class, obviously, alam nyo din to. Opposite of the revolution, we have rotation. So, rotation is the movement of Earth with its axis. So, sariling axis niya, kanina revolve, yung reference natin is the Sun. So, rotation, yung reference natin sa Earth lang mismo. The axis is an imaginary line from the top of the bottom hole of the Earth. So, again, class, axis, yung basis natin, imaginary line, para masabi natin lang na nag-rotate siya. Kung baga guide or reference natin para masabi niya nag-rotate yung Earth. That's why nahati yung planet natin sa North Pole and the South Pole. Kasi nga, nagiging batayan din natin to sa ibang later on. Okay po? Rotation. Rotation, observation that other planets and the Sun rotates. The observation of the changing planet of a long heavy pendulum at different latitude at Earth's. So, paano natin masasabi, class? Meron tayong tinatawag din na latitude and longitude. Pag sinabi natin latitude, the measurement of from the northern pole into southern pole, and the latitude from the west to east. So, yan yung mga distance kapag sinusukat natin coming from here, from north to south, from east to west. So, para masabi natin na merong rotation. The observation of the direction travel from something across above the Earth's surface, such as a rocket. So, ang pinaka-keyword lang dito, class, natatandaan nyo sa rotation, own axis. Own axis and revolution around the sun. Around the sun. So, yun po. Next, we have movement is the diurnal motion. So, basically, class, the idea of rotation is connected to the diurnal motion. So, the Earth rotates, ayan, kaya nga highlight dito, from the west to east. And the Sun appears to move from east to west. So, since the Sun appears from east to west, rotates from west to east, the Sun appears as east to west. So, tama nga naman yung sunrise natin lagi sa east, and yung paglubog naman ng araw, east to west. So, yun naman yung normal na alam natin eh. Such rotations of Earth from west to east causes bodies of celestial sphere to be seen and rise east and west. So, basically, diurnal motion, yung pagsikat ng araw, pagsikat at paglubog ng araw is due to the rotation of Earth. So, kung tatanungin kayo, excuse po. Dagdag pa natin, rotation is measured in terms of time interval from noon. O, ayan, tandaan yan ha. Para masabi natin na merong nagkakaroon ng diurnal motion, yung reference point natin is 12 noon or yung noon mismo. Kung kasi nga siya yung peak. O, ayan, sasabi, noon is the time where the sun reaches its highest point. Siya yung peak na naghihiwalay sa araw. We see the sun at his peak and near to solar day. So, the sidereal, ayan, meron naman tayong bagong term na sidereal day is the time it takes from Earth to make a complete rotation in 360 with respect to a star than the sun. So, ang keyword lang sa sidereal, class, is 360. Normally, ayan, sabi nga natin, hindi naman basta-basta na nagro-rotate. yung Earth natin. So, nadire-diretso na 360. So, basically, pag nabuo na yung 360 na rotation, ikot ng Earth natin, so, basically, we called it as a sidereal. So, 360 rotation, we called it as tawag dito, a sidereal in reference to the observer, ayan, to the sun. So, ayun, tumalo na siya agad, hindi pa nga tayo tapos. Ayan, so, ganun po. So, next we have, ayan, so aside doon sa mga na-mention natin, we have the annual motion. So, even though that this, tawag dito, journal motion is relies on the Earth's rotation, annual motion class more on move because of the revolution. So, connect lang kasi itong dalawa. Si journal is connected to rotation, then the revolution is connected to annual motion. So, annual motion class apparent yearly movement of the star as the observed from Earth as direct effect of Earth's revolution. So, kung nakikita nyo sa picture class, ayan, nagre-revolve sa Earth from the Sun. And the Sun revolves 360 degrees a year on the celestial sphere called ecliptic. Diba? Sabi, ito yung sa first law ni Kepler, that the law of eclipse or law of ellipse, that the planets will revolve the sun. So, there are times na malapit siya, there are times na malayo. So, 360. So, kasi nga masabi natin na 360, ito yung sukat natin sa protractor, yung isang buong ikot. Diba kalahati is 90 lang, tawag dito, 180 yung ikat natin. So, yun po. Annual motion. So, again, connected kasi si revolution kay annual motion, while rotation is connected to journal motion. Kung napapansin nyo dito sa picture class, that the annual motion is, we can experience different seasons. So, i-explain natin siya later on. So, we have the autumn, the winter, the spring, and the summer. So, depende din sa kusang area tayo. Kasi tayo dito sa Pilipinas, we have only 2 seasonal lang. Another movement na hindi pong kadalasan tinuturo is we have the precession. So, again, kanina na-mention na natin si precession class. So, precession is, by definition, a motion of Earth which consists of cycling wobbling of Earth axis with a period of 25 to 772 years. So, medyo may katagalan na nag-change mismo yung motion ng Earth. So, again, by definition kanina, almost connected siya with a rotation. Pero, kung baga, change of movement of a rotation. Si rotation kasi ganun na ganun lang, by definition. But precision, change from this area. So, ayan. Kung nakikita nyo, precision. Ayan. Ganun yung tsura ni precision class. Or wobbling. Meron din tayong ibang movement pa. We have the obliquity. Obliquity. Oblique. Pag sinabi natin obliquity is that due to the tilt of the Earth. So, again, sabi ko nga sa inyo class, yung Earth natin or yung planet natin is hindi siya perfect na dire-diretso yung sukat. May tabingi. May tabingi. Diba? Na-explain ko na yan sa Earth and Life Science natin before that the planet Earth has a tilt. Because of that, nabuo yung obliquity. Kasi nga, due to his history, diba sabi natin sa formation of the solar system, that the protoplanet Rhea bombarded the Earth. Because of the bombardment, it forms the moon. So, aside the moon, nagkakaroon din ng tilt sa Earth. So, because kaya nagkaroon tayo ng oblique or nagkaroon ng tilt. So, yung tinatawag nating obliquity. So, yun po. Precision and obliquity. So, ano naman si eccentricity class? So, eccentricity class is yung sinasabi natin continuous movement of in a million years, o sobrang tagal nangyayari sa eccentricity. Kung baga, yung positioning ng sun natin sa Earth, yung distance ni sun kay Earth, kung baga, nababago siya continuously through time. So, baka sa time na sobrang close na tayo sa sun, may times na sobrang layo na tayo sa sun. Yung tinatawag nating eccentricity. So, take note class, again, para sa lahat, kaklaruhin ko ulit sa inyo that the movement that we all know from the solar system na typical na paikot-ikot lang, hindi yan yung sa totoong buhay. Sa totoong buhay, para siyang tornado. That our planet, kung baga, yung Earth, nag-iikot tayo sa sun, and that sun also move to the galaxy that we have. That galaxy also move to the superclusters of stars or galaxies pa. Then, to the point na nagmo-move din yung mga galaxies natin to the entire universe, continuously na gumagalaw. So, ibig sabihin, tama yung sabi nila that the position that we have right now is different from the position that we have tomorrow. Because nga, gumagalaw tayo, gumagalaw yung solar system natin, gumagalaw lahat-lahat. So, yun po. So, anong connect? At nito si Milankovitch cycle. This tree is called as, collectively known as Milankovitch cycle. So, anong special sa Milankovitch cycle? So, because of the movement of Earth or the motion of Earth class, it affects our season. So, kung baga, kung sobrang tilt ng Earth, probably magkaroon ng mas malamig sa area na to due to the movement of eccentricity. Baka ma-experience tayo sobrang init. So, mahalaga talaga yung concept ng Milankovitch cycle. So, kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, the movement of Earth is really crucial to learn. So, next we have the term equinox and solstice. Itong dalawang to class. So, which is connected dito kanina. Sa season, sa annual motion. So, kung nakikita nyo, ayan, equinox. Pag sinabi po natin equinox class, equal. So, pag sinabi din equal, the day and night is equal class. Equinox. While solstice is, meron tinatawag na sobrang haba ng araw, then meron sobrang haba na gabi. So, kaya nga meron tayong mga types sa dalawa. So, unahin muna natin si equinox. Equal. Equinox. So, by definition class, para masabi natin na equinox, na equal yung araw at gabi, dapat may reference point tayo. So, kanina, we identify already the precision. O, ayan, yung typical na movement ng ikot. O, ayan siya, class. Ayan, o. Ayan. Then, paano itong parang barbecue na yan? Yan yung highlight natin na gusto nating ipakita na hindi, merong tilt rather, na merong tilt yung Earth. Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, hindi dire-diretso yung Earth. But instead, we have this tilt na mga naging oblique. So, because of that, the distribution of sunlight to our planet is unequal. So, pero sa times ni equinox class, yung init na araw, tsaka ng gabi is equal. So, kaya nga meron tayong spring dalawang types. The spring equinox and the autumnal equinox. So, sir, ano naman yung line na red? Yan yung tinatawag nating equator. Yung tinatawag na imaginary line, dyan tayo located na malapit. So, dito, pag naka-experience tayo ng spring equinox class, the portion of half of our Earth is equal yung sukat. Kung 12 hours yung araw, 12 hours din yung gabi. So, mga ganun po. So, spring equinox, equal yung dalawa. Normally, ayan class, spring equinox is also known as vernal equinox. So, ayan yung other term ha. It happens during around March 21. So, take note yan yung date. While autumnal equinox or during the autumn or day of fall, ayan, spring day. So, ayan. Autumn day or the fall is around September. So, again, nakaka-experience lang nito class kadalasan sa mga four-season country. So, normally tayo, hindi. Kasi malapit tayo sa equator. Dito tayo eh. So, mga dito yan, ng mga countries. So, dito tayo near eh. So, dalawang season lang tayo. Close kasi tayo sa equator. So, how about a solstice? So, again, sabi kong pinaka-best way yung matandaan nyo sa solstice class, mas mahaba yung araw, then mayroong din mas mahaba yung gabi. Ibig sabihin, summer solstice is mas mahaba yung araw, then winter solstice mas mahaba yung gabi. The 2 days where the sun is the zenith of 23.5 north and south of the equator. So, sir, ano naman yung zenith? Pag sinabi po nating Senate class, ito yung reference point natin kung saan tayo nakaposisyon mismo. Diba sabi natin that our Earth is tilt, nagkakaroon ng tilt. So, kung yung position natin dito is here, so ito yung Senate natin. Kasi nga, meron tayong tilt. So, that tilt is 23.5 degrees. So, ito na yung sabi ko sa inyo na mahalaga yung angle na measurement natin that affects our planet. The solstice are days where the sun reaches the farthest north and the southern inclination. Ito yung sabi ko nagkaroon ng tilt. The winter solstice occur in December 21, marks as the beginning of winter, the shortest day of the year. O ayan, mas mahaba yung gabi during winter. And the summer solstice occur June 21, marked as the beginning of summer. This is the longest day of the year. So, all that we have, this winter and summer. So, ayan. So, before we proceed, class, to the next discussion, so mag-recap lang ulit tayo sa types of motion. So, ulit po, revolution, the movement of our planet Earth to the Sun. Revolution po yung tawag dyan. Then, we have the two terms appear and perihelion. Peri, ulit, closest distance of our planet to the Sun. And up, pag pinakamalayo. Rotation naman, yung types or movement of Earth, wherein yung reference natin is the Earth itself. So, Earth lang yung gumagalaw, yung reference natin. Then, diurnal motion is connected to rotation. But, diurnal motion results to day and night that we experience, that we have, obviously. Then, we have the annual motion class. This one is connected to revolution. So, because of the diurnal motion, of the annual motion class, we experience different season. We have the winter, summer, and spring as a general. So, again, kung depende sa location din yan, kung saan ka banda, kung close ka sa equator or not. Tayo, since malapit tayo sa equator, we experience in the two season. So, another type movement of Earth is the precession. So, again, precession class is, of course, changed around 25,772 years. So, that precession is almost connected to the concept of rotation class. But again, hindi siya yung full na rotate, kung baga, full na wobbling. Ayan, kung nakikita nyo naman sa picture. Hindi siya rotation kasi ganun lang eh. Pag wobbling, pag ganun. Ayan. Next, we have, ayan, obliquity. Ayan, obliquity also change. So, kasi nga, oblique kakaroon ng tilt yung Earth because of the history nga natin. Sa history mismo. Then, the eccentricity, it takes, sobrang tagal din, nagkakaroon ng changes yung distance ni Earth, so the distance to the Sun. So, eccentricity yung tawag yan. And again, Milankovitch cycle, yung collective na tawag sa kanila, which affects the season that we have. Then, we have the equinox and solstice class. In short, pag equinox equal si day and night, and si solstice, merong mas mahaba yung araw, then merong mas mahaba yung gabi. Pag sinabi natin, tawag dito, spring equinox class, again, spring is, makikita natin siya sa northern portion na in reference to the sun, pero equal yung day and night. Then, dito naman sa baba, pag autumn equinox class is sa southern portion, kung reference natin to, pero yung day and night is also equal. Then, solstice naman class, mas mahaba, on the winter solstice, mas mahaba yung gabi, for summer, mas mahaba yung araw. Ayan. So, let's proceed to the closest part, as all about the size and shape of the Earth. So, normally, sabi nga ninyo, Pythagoras kanina, is that the Earth is in a shape of sphere. But, nasukat na ba natin yung exact na size ng Earth? We have already the idea about the distance of the Moon and the Earth, so with the help of Hipparchus, while si Pythagoras, the shape is sphere, but hindi pa natin alam yung exact na size ng Earth. So that's why we will discuss the discovery, what is the size of our Earth and size and shape of our Earth. So size and shape of the Earth was proposed, the idea by Eratosthenes. Ayan, Eratosthenes. About 250 BCE, before Christ era, a Greek mathematical astronomer named Eratosthenes, di ba? Kung napapansin nyo, pag lahat ng mga measurement of size, distance, automatic mga mathematician, so ganun kahalaga yung math. Not just math na compute, pero pag in-apply natin siya sa totoong buhay, very helpful siya. So, Eratosthenes calculated the size and shape of the Earth using an experiment of a wheel. A wheel ha, literal na balon. In short, in Tagalog, balon. Ayun ha, balon yung ginamit as experiment. So, take note class, yung experiment na ginawa ni Eratosthenes is ginawa niya sa sarili niyang place. Ayan, sa sarili niyang place, malapit sa Greeks. Sa Greece, obviously. So, but, his observation is he done it during the summer solstice and the winter. During the noon of equinox and solstice. So, tanghali siya nag-observe. So, okay. From the calculation of the Eratosthenes found that the angle of the slightly more than 7 degree, which about 50 degrees of complete of a circle. This means the distance between Alexandria and a wheel must be about Earth circumference of about 27 miles. So again class, yung isang wheel na nakikita niya near the Alexandria, si Alexandria is one of the city close in a Greece class kung saan makikita yung wheel or I mean yung well yung balon in short, sinukat niya mismo. Syempre, 'di ba? Noon, 'di ba sabi natin yung pinaka-peak ng araw. So, ang ginawa niya, inobserve niya kung meron ba talagang tilt. That's why he found out the 7 degrees mismo na circumference of the Earth. The scientist agrees that the slightly bulge is due to the rapid rotation of the Earth. So, hindi sumakto, this is perfect ni 0 degrees Celsius. That's why others agrees na merong 7 degrees na tilt, in short. Kasi nga, yung explanation nila due to a rapid rotation Earth of its axis, which makes the Earth shift very slightly pure. Hindi siya talaga circle, slightly pure. The spin faster the equator than the poles because of the equator is farther from the Earth's spinning axis. The extra speed flinged the equator in the bulge. Saan na tayo? Equator from the Earth's spinning axis of finding the equator in a bulge which pull of flattened. Circle analysis is the Earth's oblate spherical. So, di ba, nagsabi na kanina si Pythagoras that the Earth is a sphere, but because Eratosthenes lalong na-clarify kung naging na-specify yung specific na size and shape of the Earth because of his experiment with the wheel. Na hindi siya sakto na spherical, na circular na sphere. Kumbaga, oblate. So, yung reason niya nagkaroon ng oblation is just because of the fast rotation of the Earth. So, yun po. That's why we come up to the idea that the shape of the Earth is oblate spheroid. So, ayan po ha, spheroid. May konting banat in short, kaya oblate spheroid. Ayan. So, ito siya. 12.756 km at the equator. Ayan, 12 km at the pole. So, medyo may banat because of the rotation, continuous movement of the Earth. So, here is the summary class. So, the Greek views of motion of the universe. So, kindly read. So, I hope. Ayan. Ayan. So, yung summary natin, the mga models, yung laws of planetary motion, then yung mga models. Ayan, models, motions. So, yung cover lang natin. So, it's up to you, class. I hope this, our discussion, still help you to answer your quiz at the same time for your exam. So, I have a few message to all of you, 12 TBL2, since we are closing to an end. So, I hope that during your graduation, I wish you a best luck and advance congratulations agad sa inyong lahat. So, hindi ko kayo maisa-isa, basta grateful ako kasi kayo yung unang section na na-handle ko na TVL. So, I learned na madami ako realization since kasi nga under ko mostly STEM. The teaching is not about giving a knowledge and sobrang knowledge, but it's a matter of understanding and socialization. So, yun lang, yung realization ko. That's why grateful ako na na-handle ko yung section niya. That's all. Thank you and goodbye po.